Hey there, I'm Pastor Brian, and it's time for Questions from Kids. Oliver from Johnson City, Tennessee asks,
Does God protect us today?
Oliver, yes, he does. God protects us, but we're going to have to unpack what it means that he protects us in a second. We see in today's Bible story, the story of Nehemiah, how God led his people back to return to Jerusalem and rebuild the city walls in an amazingly quick period of time, by the way. Why this was significant was this. First of all, it's God making good on his promise to get his people back into the land, but also the city walls were for protection. This was the way that God's people would be safe from enemies, and also it was a way to show the people around Israel that God was with his people. He was not leaving them vulnerable and exposed. And so that's what the city walls represented, protection from harm. So God protected his people then, he protects us today. Now, what does that mean? That does not mean that nothing bad will happen, that nothing difficult will happen, that you will never get hurt. Sometimes God even brings pain into our lives. He brings hurt into our lives because it's the greatest good for us. Discipline hurts, but God is a loving Father who disciplines us so that we can follow him better, we can obey him better. It's actually for our good that we're disciplined. So there's just one case where if we think of protection as being, never experiencing pain, never experiencing difficulty, no, that's not the case. Think of Jesus. Jesus suffered, didn't he? He died. That was all part of God's good plan. So why do we think that God will shield us from all pain when he didn't even shield his son from all pain? But here's what protection means. It means ultimately God protects us from the ultimate consequences of our sin, separation from him, and spiritual death. And it also means that at times he will protect us on earth from things that are painful, that he'll protect us at times from things that would bring us harm. But we just can't count on that being every single time. So here's a question back for you to think about. Can you think of a time when God protected you in the past?